We got Degenerocity, you feel me? And I'm not live, so I'm not running intro. We talking about homework.
Horseman, father, slave abolitionist, but most importantly, education reformer. Man spent a majority of his career changing the scope of American public school education to an overall better environment. You see, back then, teachers were slightly more dumb than they are now. Anybody could have been a teacher back then, even you. So Horace changed it to teachers have to be trained professionals for him to teach. Also, he wanted more girl teachers, no more teachers with sausages. He opted for a more diverse school environment. He wanted to equalize the learning experience for all kids so they can learn the same no matter the background. The man did a whole heap of advancements to the American education system that we still use to this very day. There's like 1,000 schools that are named after him, bro. This guy made a difference. The man basically made
the fact that people still using it now though is the problem.
Everything we know about modern American education we do today, including enforcing the worst mother thing to ever exist, homework. This man did everything right for the education system, but with this one thing, he made everything wrong. I know
when I tell you, bro. Kindergarten, we was chilling, bro. We was chilling, bro. You go to school, you feel me? You do your schoolwork at school. You get picked up, you go home. That's it. You wake up and do it again the next day. That's it, bro. School was lit, bro. It was lit. It was fire. You know what I'm saying? Then first grade come around, bro. First grade, you know what I'm saying? Every week, you gotta bring back your notebook with your stuff in it, you feel me? All organized and everything. Every week. That's it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Homework every week, hey, bro, it's not that bad. Every Friday. You feel me? Every Friday, that's chill. Me personally, I'm very organized. I'm very on top of myself. So, you know what I mean? That was very easy. Then second grade came around, GG's. GG every day? There's something to do every day? And then it just spirals out of control, bro. It gets, bro, it's horrible. It's horrible. Look, I've been out of school almost a year now, all right? In a month, it's about to be a year. Bro, I have not felt so much less stressed. Dude.
You were a slave abolitionist advocating to end slavery and all, but bringing homework over to the U.S. might be worse than slavery.
Okay, I don't know about worse, but
how Oppenheimer made the first apology video after creating those nukes that were dropped on Japan. Well, imagine being this Frankenstein-looking dude, ruining the childhoods of everybody in America. Homework is the worst thing to ever happen, and I'm gonna try to explain every single minute detail on why not only it sucks, but it's useless. But for me to explain that, let's figure out why homework was created in the first place. Through a simple Google search, it says Robert Novellius, an Italian teacher, invented the whole concept of homework, and he assigned it to punish students who didn't demonstrate a good understanding of the lesson that was taught in class, or just lazy and disobedient students. He would punish them with homework. And yes, I might agree that homework was a worse punishment than being beat with a ruler, and I could just blame all my school misery on this guy. But when researching it, it also says he did this in 1905 or 1095. Now, I might not be a genius, but the math isn't mathin' here. How he do this in 1905 or 1095? That's like 6 billion years apart. Is he a vampire? Is he related to Nicolas Cage? We'll never know. Because apparently there's no real evidence this Roberto Noodle guy even existed. So Google is giving me some false information. Now I gotta switch over to Bing now. The real reason on why homework was created dates back to ancient Rome in the 1st century AD. That's a few years after the Big Bang. The term homework can be traced back to this time, said by Pliny or Pliny the Younger, an oratory teacher. That's a teacher that teaches you how to talk to strangers. He believed the repetition and practice of speech would help students get better at their speaking skills. So he would often tell students to practice speaking at home, essentially homework. So homework was created for students to practice the subject. I mean, that was probably a no duh for most people watching. But the way this Pliny guy used it. It isn't really homework. You know,
Not really.
sometimes
It's a
teachers will
recommendation.
tell you your homework is to study for the test the next day. And when they say that, in my head, they basically told me, I don't got homework. I'm not gonna study when I get home. I'm gonna be too busy playing Hello Kitty Adventure. Then I'm gonna study last minute on the bus ride to school the next day. Also studying a bit in homeroom before their class, and I'll still get away with a B-. You know? Hey, I'm happy with that. PP, the teacher's homework, wasn't really homework. It was a suggestion, like how dentists suggest that you brush your teeth twice a day. Don't tell me what to do. I brush my teeth once a week, tops. But obviously, homework has evolved since the time of Phineas and Ferb. Instead of studying, we have multiple choice sheets, written assignments, projects, reading whole textbook chapters of homework. Isn't that what class is for? You assigning me textbook chapters to read as homework is basically telling me
having to take a textbook home is absurd, bro. What's the point of me going to class if I'm just gonna be reading a textbook at home, bro? Like, literally, what's the point? What's the reason? You feel it? Like, it just make it make sense, bro. But they can't. They can't.
Me to go and teach myself. What am I here for? What are we doing here then? I might as well be at home playing with my Hello Kitty. I remember I had this one teacher that would basically assign essays to type every class as homework with a minimum word count of like 300. Don't take honors history.
I mean, 300
Worst
isn't that
mistake
bad,
of
but
my
every
life.
night is kind of crazy, though.
Homework now is just an overload of mandatory tasks that when combined with every other class that assigns it, you're looking at a whole behemoth booty load of exhaustion you have to do every night.
Like, honestly, only like 2, maybe 3 classes per week should be allowed to assign homework, bro. I ain't gonna lie, like, you shouldn't be able to get homework for every single class in a day. Most of the time it doesn't happen, but sometimes it does. And it's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
And all this new age of homework is still looked at as practice of what you're already learning. But in this day and age, how is homework practice? Practice for what exactly? How fast can I Google the answer to this question? How fast can Photomath scan this math equation and give me the answer with work? How fast can I find a Quizlet that has every single answer to every single question on any English or science assignment in order? This is no longer practicing or studying these subjects. We just copying and pasting, especially nowadays with stuff like ChatGPT and all its alternatives, where we can get whole essays about feet typed to us in a second for free. Homework in general is just obsolete.
And that's crazy to me because, like, this chat GPT, I wasn't hearing about that when I was still in school. So, like, to me now, I'm just like, bro, y'all have chat GPT, bro? Like, dude.
At least its intended purpose of making us study and practice is. Homework is just needless work. Stop assigning it. I bet you teachers would like that too. It gives you less work to go through and grade. I know some of you teachers complain about the amount of work you do. Then y'all just give out more homework, essentially giving us more work for me and you. Do you like to suffer? Is that what you like? Suffering? Speaking of eternal damnation, let me talk about how even people back then agreed with what I'm saying. In the early 1900s, big-time publications like the New York Times and Ladies' Home Journal published articles on how homework can affect the health and mental state of a child negatively. The articles basically showed, you see that kid right there? That's your child on homework. These articles caused an outrage against the schools in the West. In California, being California, it did something insane. But for the first and only time, a good kind of crazy. In 1901, California banned homework for kids under 15.
That's beautiful, bro.
You thought it could never be done.
That's a beautiful thing right there.
Faith has been restored. Skip some years, and in 1923, the American Child Health Association formed, and they also thought homework was bad for the brain. And in the 1930s, they even went as far as to deem homework as child labor. You see, during this time, America just had the Industrial Revolution, and the children yearned for the mines. So kids as young as 5 were playing Minecraft in real life. And by the 1930s, a bunch of laws had sadly been signed against child labor. But recently for it. And since these laws were being passed, the ACHA thought it was a great opportunity to finally get rid of homework once and for all. Obviously that didn't work out. And about that California bill, that also didn't last long. That only lasted like 10 years. Like everything in California, the fun only lasts a second. then you're homeless. There's more to this American homework story, but we all know the ending because we're living in it. ACHA were the only group of people that understood that we were being worked to the bone over this work. How not only it was hurting us, but it was destroying our minds.
Literally,
Yet our
bro.
government failed the people's needs once again. The hours and nights of work I had to do just so my grade could go up 0.02%, and for some reason go down 50% if I didn't do an assignment. The amount of stress that brings a student, it's deadly. I've already described why homework is useless, terrible, and gave my firstborn cancer. It's a punishment that would be beyond my comprehension if it didn't exist. I hate homework so much. I want it abolished almost as much as I want stealing from Walmart to be.
Honestly, homework and standardized testing is like the worst part of school. If you got rid of those two things, I could probably guarantee you, like, bro, the graduation rate would skyrocket in pretty much every school. Sure, there would probably still be some that suck, but hey, bro, someone's got to be the loser. All right, look, man, that's life. Someone has to lose. So, shout out to those schools. But I feel like if you got rid of standardized testing and homework, a lot more students would be interested in school and probably want to learn more and do better in school. So, hey, bro.
Illegal. And in my world it is, but let's not right now. But what's the replacement of homework if it were to get banned? What will take its place? I'ma tell you.
Work, bro.
Actual studying. Homework would be
or actual work, bro. Let kids get some work experience and something they actually care about, bro. Like if you 7 years old and you just love looking at magazines, bro, you might want to get into journalism, bro, or like photography or something. So it's like, let that kid like spend the time that they would be doing homework or whatever, like actually trying to do something cool for like in life, especially in high school, because once you're like a little bit older, you actually know what you like, so you actually know what you might want to do in life. So like it'd be so much cooler to have the time to just do that than like waste time doing homework that doesn't even you don't even bro, it does nothing for you. Nothing.
Studying all the notes and what you went over in class. So the practice part of homework would actually work. And I know some people are thinking, nah, you a liar, man. You just said whenever studying was your homework, you're gonna go and play Hello Kitty Adventure. You can't fool me. Yeah, and the reason for that is because every other night I'm doing back-breaking homework. The only reason I play video games that day is because it's essentially my day off. That's why. If I was assigned to study every day as homework for every class, I would probably still play video games, not gonna lie. But it would motivate me more to study. Maybe after clocking in 5 hours on the 10 dogs, I'ma feel a little slumped. Then I'ma remember, oh yeah, I got school tomorrow. Then study for 5 minutes, Better than nothing. What's really better? Copying and pasting an hour worth of homework, learning nothing, or that 5 minutes every day where I learn and practice 5 minutes of stuff and actually remember. I think we both know the answer. It's a better system, man. I'm telling you, it's a win-win on both sides. The teacher and student get less work while class grade averages go up. Also, to any student that would still fail their classes with this system, nah, you just dumb, bro. Sorry.
Yeah,
you still failing when there's no homework, bro. You're the one with the doodoo for brains. Just transfer, bro. I got the perfect place for you. And that is my reasoning why homework is hell on earth and my solution to that problem. Thank you. Okay. And to any kids watching this right now, show this video to your teacher and tell them to watch it, because I just gave them the most convincing reason on why homework is terrible. I'm about to change their brains. I made sure not to cuss or say anything dirty in this video so you won't get in trouble. And if they watch this and still give you homework, jump them. I'm just kidding. Just put a grenade in their desk when they're not looking. Yeah, homework is dookie. And that's all I wanted to say.
Nah, that's crazy. Okay. Well, that took a turn, for sure. Do dogs stink and barks? Now, that's actually a really good question. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. I feel like because language is a very, it's a very interesting concept. So it's like, animals probably have their own systems, which is why they can kind of understand us and communicate with us in certain ways. in ways that we can understand, at least, and like decipher easily. So, you know, dogs might think in barks, but they might genuinely like think in languages, which is why certain, you know, dogs only respond to like Spanish or Portuguese or like French or something, because they actually just speak that language, you know. But then it's also genetic. So some dogs probably do genetically think in barks because they haven't been around humans for like wild, like, you know, wolves and stuff. They might think in barks. That could be interesting. I actually wonder now. Man.